Good afternoon and welcome to today's webinar. We're going to talk all about hireahawk.com. My name is Sara Burden. I am the Senior Associate Director of Employer Engagement here with the Pomerantz Career Center. I also do career advising for a variety of different majors, and I've worked here for just about 13 years.
And my name is Rhinehart. I'm the Senior Specialist Web and Online Services, mainly oversee HireAHawk, so I'm happy to answer any questions you might have. And I've been with the Career Center about 16 years.
All right, fantastic. Well, without further ado, we're going to go ahead and get started today. We are going to show you how to create an account. We're going to talk a little bit about updating your profile, posting positions, requesting interview schedules, and accessing the resume book, and then we'll touch on a few additional topics as well. You have the ability to submit questions, and hopefully at the end we'll get to those questions. If we don't, we'll definitely follow up with you after today's webinar. All right, so let's go ahead and talk about how you get started, specifically logging in and updating your profile. To log in or create your account, you want to first go to hireahawk.com. From there, you will notice there's the option to click on Employers, Register, and Log In. If you already have an account with HireAHawk, you'll simply log in using your username, which is typically your email address, as well as a password. If for some reason you've forgotten your password, go ahead and click on Forgot Password. That button will appear at the bottom of the screen. If you're completely new to the system, go ahead and click on Sign Up or Sign Up and Post a Job. You have the option of creating your account individually or creating your account and posting your position at the same time. You're free to choose whichever fits you best. From there, you can go ahead and update your contact information. Once you log in, you can update the account yourself if you have your password. If, however, you don't have your password, you can't remember, or you need some additional assistance, feel free to call us at the Career Center. Our direct line to the office is 319-335-1023. If you want to go ahead and create a new account, even though you know you might have an old one, that's okay too. We can absolutely merge those accounts once the new one is created. All right, to update your password, go ahead and click on the Account button on the left navigation bar. From there, you can click on the Password Preferences tab. Simply enter your old password, then verify your new password, and click Submit. To update your profile, click Profile on the left navigation bar. Here you can enter data in the Who We Are section. We encourage you especially to add an overview of your organization as well as the industry. This is what students will use to do a little bit of research about your organization as well as your positions. You can also upload a logo, photos, as well as videos that students can then have access to additionally learn a little bit more about your organization. To link to your social media pages, click on the profile on the left navigation bar, then Who We Are. From there, you'll scroll down and enter your Facebook, Twitter, and other account page links. Then you can simply click Submit or Save.
Okay, and I'll walk you through today just how to post positions, and this would be for positions that won't be attached to an interview schedule. We'll go over those later in the presentation. So to create a new job posting, you're going to click on Jobs and Internships on the left, and then you'll click on Job Postings and Post a Job, which is down in the bottom kind of middle section. Then you'll simply just complete the fields on the form. Typically, it'll include information such as the position type, job title, how you would like students to submit resumes, etc. And then your job will be approved within 2 business days. If there's an archive position in the system, let me kind of show you here, you'll go to that same area, but you'll click on the Copy Existing field, and then you'll select Show Archived. And once you select Show Archive, this will bring up a drop-down menu with any archive postings that you have in the system. So you can edit the dates and anything else that needs to be updated. and then you can simply submit. And if you're copying a position, be sure to remove that from the job title. To edit an active position, you can go to the Jobs and Internships tab and then you'll just click on the job title of the posting, and you can make your changes and then just submit. And every time a change is made, just keep in mind that it will come back into our pending bin for approval again. And sometimes you'll see it will say not approved next to the posting. That is really actually just pending. We probably haven't reviewed it yet. If you ever have any questions on the status of your posting, though, feel free to give us a call. Or if it's a student employment position, we'll give you contact information for that office as well. And this kind of shows you the posting form that will pop up when you click on to edit your posting. And then you can also, on your job postings, you can view the number of students who have looked at your posting. And this will be over to the right-hand section once you click on the job title. This is a good indicator to kind of look at if you have a lot of student views, but you haven't gotten any applications. It might be a good indicator that either your application instructions are confusing, or you might be requiring too many documents, so that might be a hurdle for students in applying. To deactivate a position, you'll click on the withdraw button, which is beneath the position title. Keep in mind when you withdraw a position, it does take away the applications that are stored there. They're still in the site, but they won't be viewable on your side. So just be sure to save these documents to your computer before you withdraw the position. To view applicants and create a resume packet, you'll click on the Jobs and Internships tab. And then you'll click on Student Documents. And then you'll click on the box next to Batch Options, which is towards the bottom, to select all students. And then if you click on Generate Book, that's going to create the packet for you. When you're done, don't forget to uncheck the Select All box, or it will keep that in your next generation of a packet. To view the packet, once it's done, you'll click on Publication Requests at the top. And then you can also, at the bottom, there's additional options to click on Mail to Checked if you want to email those students. Or you can click on Save as Excel if you want to save a spreadsheet of those applications. And you'll see the Publication Request button is at the top, or you can also view that from the left navigation bar as well.
All right. So now that we talked a little bit about that, we're going to transition into discussing the resume book. And some of you probably have some experience using this in the past. Others of you may not. Hopefully we touch on a few topics that can help you here. So in order to view the resume book, you first must be recruiting for internships and full-time positions. Those are the types of positions. If you're recruiting for those, you can get access to the resume book. To request access, simply email Sherry or myself. Our contact information will be available at the end of the presentation for you to jot down. Once your posting is active, you can request to have the resume book turned on. And then once you log in, you will see resume book on the left navigation bar, from which you can start the process of using it. All right. So once you have access to the resume book, you will see here that there's a couple different options for you. You will want to start by selecting all students. This gives you access to the majority of the resumes that are uploaded into the resume book and active. From there, it is helpful if you select Advanced Resume Search. Once you select Advanced Resume Search, you get quite a few different options, whether you're sorting by keyword, you want to sort by graduation date, whatever it may be to your preferences. This resource here through the Advanced Resume Search can be very helpful. Once you've selected the criteria of your choice, simply hit Submit. From there, the resumes that match the criteria in which you sorted by will show students in their resumes. And you'll see you'll get the name that's currently blacked out here in this example. Then you'll get to see a little information such as their major, graduation year and date, things of that nature. Now, of course, you're probably going to take a little closer look at each individual resume that pops up from your search. So you'll see on the far right-hand side of the page, there's 3 little dots. Those dots, if you click on that, will bring up the student's actual resume for you to review. Once you've reviewed your resumes, maybe you have selected a few you want to do some outreach to, you can actually email these students, much like we talked about before. Simply place a check mark next to their individual name or click on the checkbox next to batch options, and that's at the top. That allows you to select all the records that you sorted for. From there, click on batch options, and then you can simply mail to checked. That allows you to create an email that you can send out to these students, letting them know about your position or perhaps letting them know that you're coming to an event here on campus. You can also save your searches by clicking on Save as Excel. That's right under the button Batch Options. You can also generate a resume packet by clicking Generate Resume Book. When you're done, be sure to go back and uncheck all those marks next to the student names or select the minus sign to unselect all records. That way you don't continuously email the same students, even though you'll be doing some new searches in the future. Now, you're ready to review your resume packet. So you can click on Resume Book to the left on the navigation bar, and then simply click on Publication Requests.
Okay, and next I'll just, are you going to do requesting?
Sorry, we had a little transition there. Next, we're going to talk about requesting an on-campus interview schedule. To request a schedule, click on On-Campus Recruiting, or what we call OCR. It's typically located on the left navigation bar. You can click on Schedules and then request a schedule. Schedules should be requested at least 2 to 3 weeks in advance of your preferred interview date. You want to complete the schedule request form, and we'll talk a little bit more about that and the types, because we know sometimes they can be confusing.
Yep, and I'll go over the different room types. That is probably our biggest question and the biggest point of confusion kind of when you're new to setting up schedules. So the non-room only schedule is if you're going to build your own schedule outside of the system and you just need the room reserved. So example, if you're coming to a career fair and you're just going to build your schedule from students you meet with at the fair, this could be a room type that you'll want to select. There's also the pre-select and pre-select to alternate type. This is probably our most widely used. This is where the system collects resumes and you'll be able to review those. And then you can invite students to interview. So that gives you a little more control and screening related to the schedule. We also have the open type. This type is not used very often. If you do want to just open it up and have students be able to apply for an interview time right away after they submit their resume, then this is the type you would want to use. Again, it's not used very often because it doesn't give you kind of that control to screen resumes as much. And then in the notes section at the bottom of the form, doesn't show on this slide here, it kind of gives you just the listing form itself, but on the bottom there's a section for notes, and you can indicate if you're going to need the room beyond our regular kind of office hours of 8 to 5, or if you have any special requests, if you need a larger conference room or Skype capabilities, it's great to include that on the form so we know ahead of time so we can prepare for that. And then once your request has been submitted, you will receive a confirmation email, typically within 24 hours, and we'll let you know that that's been approved and is live in the system.
All right, so now we're going to talk more about attaching positions to a schedule that you've requested. So before you can attach a position, you need to have an approved schedule request within the system. That is needed so that you can attach that position to it later. When you first request a schedule, while it is in pending mode, it will say not approved. Once the schedule request is approved, you'll receive a confirmation email, and then you can attach a position by clicking on On-Campus Recruiting, OCR, on the left navigation bar. You don't want to add you don't necessarily want to add an on-campus recruiting position through the jobs and internships tab, especially if you already have a posted position there that you want to attach to the schedule. If that's the case, just go ahead and contact Sherry, myself, or Crystal, and we can attach them for you. All right, from here you want to click on schedules. It's located under the schedule date. Then you can click on attach position. From here, you'll fill in all the required fields and click Save and Finish. If you're attaching more than one position to a schedule, click Save and attach another. Pretty simple. You also have the option of using Copy Existing. It's a field that you can choose an existing position from. This will pre-populate the form with that information. You can edit it as needed and resubmit. And like we've mentioned before, once you edit a position, especially if you're using an old one, your positions will be back in the queue, and then we'll approve them within 24 to 48 hours. Just a special note, however, you won't be able to make any edits to a position that is attached to an approved interview schedule. If that's the case and you need to make some changes, please contact Sherry. She'd be happy to adjust some things for you. And you can reach her at 319-335-1023. And again, we'll provide her email address at the end of the presentation.
Okay, and I'll talk a little bit about how to manage your interview schedule once you do have that in the system, and how to make your selections. So to make your pre-selects, you'll click on the On-Campus Recruiting tab on the left, and then you'll click on the Applicants tab, which is also over on the left. Then you can filter by the position and click Apply Search. Next, you can check mark the boxes next to the student's name. So you'll click on that Batch Options area. And then you can set status. So you can choose an invited, alternate, or non-invited. You'll want to be sure to clear the check marks again after making your selection so they don't stay in the system. If it says selections have not begun over on the right-hand side, it's just simply that your pre-select date hasn't opened up yet. So when you request a schedule, you will have an assigned date to go in the system and make those selections. So you can view that date by going to the Schedules tab on the left. And then I think we went ahead a little bit, but you'll go to Schedules on the left, and then over on the right-hand side, you'll see a list of the deadlines for your specific schedule. And then to add students to your pre-select list, for example, there might be students you meet with at an event or at a fair who haven't had time to sign up in HireAHawk yet. So to add those students kind of manually, you would go to Schedules on the left, and then you'll scroll down the page to view the applicants, and then you'll click on Add New. From there, you'll enter the student's name in the keyword search area and click Go. And then you'll select their name from the drop-down menu. Next, you'll choose the position to add that student to, and you'll also set their status, and then just submit. To email students from an interview schedule, you'll go back to the On-Campus Recruiting tab on the left, and then you'll click on the Applicants tab again. And then same thing, you'll mark all of the records you want to include, and then click on the Batch Options and Mail to Checked to email those students. Finally, you'll create the email message by completing all of the fields, and then you can also have the same options to generate a book, or you can save the file as an Excel as well. And this shows you when you do generate a book, there's some additional options. You can choose which documents you'd like to include in the packet, resume, cover letter, so you can set that there as well. And then to download the packet once it's complete, you'll go back to the On-Campus Recruiting tab, and click on publication requests, either on the top or over on the left. And then you can simply just click on View PDF. And then to view your interview schedule, I will let Sarah talk about that.
All right, so now we're transitioning. We're going to view interview schedule. So you've got an interview schedule set. You want to go ahead and take a peek, find out who's on that schedule. So to view that interview schedule, click on Campus Recruiting OCR, over again on the left navigation bar. From there, you will click on Schedules. Here, you can click the interview date under the date column. That indicates which schedule you want to take a peek at and look who's scheduled to come in and interview with you. From this screen, on the right-hand side, you'll be able to see the scheduled deadlines like we've talked about before. This gives you an idea of when resumes could start coming in, when they had to be submitted by, and essentially all those deadlines that the students had to follow by. To view the interview schedule, go ahead and click on View Interview Schedule. Here you can view the scheduled interviews. If you have changes that need to be made, things that need to be adjusted, please contact Sherry or myself if you need to make those edits to your schedule or to your actual timeline. We'd be happy to help you with that. To print your interview schedule, including the candidates as well as their documents such as resumes or transcripts that you've requested, you'll click on OnCampus Recruiting OCR in the left navigation bar again. You'll click on Interviews. You'll click on an individual student, or you can select the All box next to Batch Options and generate a book like you've done. You can find your results under Publication Requests at the top or on the left navigation bar.
Okay, and I'll just talk briefly about how to register for career fairs. So to register for career fair, you're going to click on Events on the left, and then you'll click on Career Fairs, and then Register. After clicking Register, you'll be brought to the first screen of the registration form. You'll just want to make through and continue through the form and hit Confirm at the end to preview your submission. You can access your registration after, and you can view your invoice by clicking on Events and then Registered next to the fair that you've registered for. From here, you can also view the students that have RSVP'd to the event, and you do have the ability to email those students if you'd like to get in contact with them prior to the fair.
All right, so we know we have covered a lot of information, but that does wrap up our topics for today. You're welcome to submit any questions you might have now. Like I said, if you've got very detailed questions pertinent to your account, we'd be happy to entertain those questions via email, or you can give either one of us a call. We're here to help you out. We know we've covered a lot of general information, but like we said, if you have some specific ones particular to your accounts, feel free to reach out to us. So we'll just wait for a couple minutes here and see if any questions pop up. We'll try to answer those. Otherwise, we thank you for joining us today, and we look forward to working with you this fall.